We're live. Hello. Live number 2. I'm so excited. Okay, so we're just finishing up getting set up, and then we will start diving right into our topic today, which is, some of the biggest weight loss myths. That's a word. Myths there are out there, and how to tackle them, why they're myths, and what you can do instead. Because I can't just sit here and say, like, that's a myth, and then not give you a solution for it, right? That'd be kind of mean. All right, so we're pretty set up. We ready to go? All right. Okay, everyone. Welcome. This is my second YouTube live. I'm very excited about the topic today. It is very near and dear to my heart because it's something I have struggled with from a very young age. And yeah, I am just ready to dive right into it. So today we're going to be talking about 4 weight loss myths and what you can do instead. But first, there is one thing that I'm dying to talk about. And it's a show on Netflix. So if you've seen it, you know what I'm talking about. If not, you need to get on it. It is called Squid Games, right? It is probably one of the best shows I've seen in the last 5 years, easily, hands down. It is this amazing mix of, social dilemma, horror, gore, psychology, and it's Korean. And these actors and actresses are just phenomenal. Like, they legit blow me away. And most of the time I don't notice acting. Even though I'm an actor, I don't notice people acting in shows just because I'm like suspending my belief. I want to watch the show. I want to be in it. But this show is phenomenal. It just immerses you into this world that is half real and half not real. And it's just chaotic, but beautiful. And the director just does a phenomenal job. So highly recommend you watch that show. In other news, nothing much is going on with my life. My birthday is in 1 week and I am super excited. Don't mind the jaggedy nails. I'm going to be getting them done tomorrow. Promise. Going to get a cute Halloween theme going. But yeah, so my birthday's coming up. I'm going to do a nice big birthday dinner with all my closest friends, and we're just going to drink and have a fun night. And I'm super excited to celebrate. Last year, my birthday was, it was a COVID birthday. We all had those COVID birthdays. Hi, Rebecca. How are you? Hey, Manny. Just want to say hi to you guys real quick. But yeah, so last year, COVID birthday it was fun. We made the best of it. But I gotta say, I'm excited for this year. We can finally go out. We can finally celebrate. We're all vaccinated. Woo! So I'm ready to party. I'm ready to get it going. I'm ready to be 27, although that number is a little scary, but it's okay. I'm okay. I've made my peace with it. I'm cool. We're ready for Botox soon. We'll get there. I'll do a YouTube live about it. But for now, we're going to talk about weight loss. Okay. So I feel like this is a topic everybody has Googled at least once in their life, if not 500,000 fucking times, right? Because obesity is a growing pandemic in our country, and this is brand new. We have not had an obesity problem, up until the last 60 to 90 years, really. And it's due to having amazing resources, right? We have access to so much food. We're overflowing with access to it, being in America, which is wonderful, but also can be an issue when we don't have the proper education for nutrition and fitness that, should be a part of our education system. Unfortunately, it isn't. So we go to Google. We Google, how do I lose weight, right? I have a wedding in 2 weeks. How do I drop 10 pounds? Or, I really want a bigger butt, but a slimmer waist. Or I really want to grow my upper body, but I don't give a fuck about my legs, right? There's so many different things you can throw into Google. And then there are so many resources that get thrown right back at you. And it's really hard to swim through those and figure out, what's real. Yes, Rebecca, skinny tea. I fucking hate skinny tea. I fell for it once. And it's just all marketing too. Because here's the thing. You have some people out there who are really trying to, give good information, but it's not fun information. They're telling you need to work hard, you need to have a good diet, and you need to be realistic. And then you have the companies out there who are trying to make and profit so much money off of this dilemma. And it's unfortunate because then they throw these products at you with these grand promises when really all it's doing is making you drink a disgusting fucking shake that has little to no nutritional value just so that you can drop a few pounds. And then what? And then you finish the drink, you lost the weight, you feel great, and then you go back to your regular diet and you gain all the way back plus some, right? There's a reason it doesn't work. Okay, so that's a little bit of my spiff on why I hate the whole weight loss industry. I'm super against it. I like to call it toxic diet culture. I'm sure someone else has said that before, but that's kind of that's what I like to call it. It's a big umbrella term for just toxic, negative education, ideas, commercials that are being spit at you because you want to lose weight, right? So let's talk about those one by one. I have 4 of my ones that I hate the most. But if you have some other ones, drop them in and we'll get to them today too. Okay, so let's dive right in. So the first one is something that is yes, Herbalife. Oh my gosh. I bought Herbalife once. I was so disappointed in myself. I didn't even like it. I was just I wanted to lose weight so bad that I dropped $100 at this smoothie store just because they sold it to me, took my weight, and they're like, we'll guarantee you lose 20 pounds in a month. And I fell for it. Of course you fall for it because you're naive and you want these results. And they're promising you something that's very large by just drinking a nasty fucking shake. Don't like their company at all. I'll shit on them all day. Okay, so backtrack. First weight loss myth that I fucking hate, and I fell for it for a really long time. And it's kind of like a 2-parter. So the first part is that carbs are bad for you, right? Carbs equal fat. This is just a myth and a lie that I wish would go away. It is so unfortunate that this is still around, and there are so many of my clients that are still in this mindset that carbs are something they should cut out if they want to lose weight, right? Here are the issues with that. You have 3 main sources of food, right? 3 macronutrients. You have protein, you have carbs, and you have fat. All 3 of these macros play an extremely important role in your diet. Not to build muscle, not to lose fat, to survive, right? And this is what they are. Protein helps you build and sustain your muscles, right? You literally need your muscles to move. I need my muscles to put on this show that I'm doing right now, okay? Right? Then you need your fats. Your fats are going to help sustain your organs. It's literally what keeps you alive. It keeps your hormones in check. It keeps your brain functioning correctly. And it assists in building muscles, okay? So fats are extremely important. So where do carbs come in, right? You'll come across some people who believe carbs are not necessary, right? You see people on keto all the time. Now, keto does work for some people, and it is recommended by some doctors for certain medical conditions, which I completely agree with. However, for the majority of the population, yes, carbs land. I live there. I own 3 houses on that island. But yeah, so for the most part, what was I saying? Carbs. Yeah, I love carbs. They get me distracted all the time. Yes. So carbs, right? Some people think carbs aren't necessary, but the reason why we love carbs, right? The reason why our bodies love carbs is because we use them for fuel. It's literally our source of energy. It's how our metabolisms use energy to move, to drive a car, to exercise, to talk, right? This is our source of fuel, okay? Now, when you do something like keto, the way it works scientifically is you are reworking your metabolism to use fat for fuel instead of carbs. Now, this works for some people, and some people can sustain this lifestyle. However, I have found for the majority of people, this is not a sustainable lifestyle, and they don't do this for the rest of their lives. So, if you ever find yourself kind of gearing towards one of these fad diets that tells you to eliminate an entire food group, just ask yourself, is this a diet that I can do long term? If the answer is no, don't do it. Don't do it at all, because you might get results, but then when you go back to your regular diet, those results right out the window. It's going to be like all that hard work was for nothing, right? When you could have spent that time focusing on this instead. Okay, so here's the solution for that. Focus on eating a balanced diet, right? What's a balanced diet? Okay, you need a healthy amount of protein, a healthy amount of carbs, and a healthy amount of fats. This is going to look different for every person, right? Based on your body composition, your activity level, your hormones, your exercise routine, all of that, is going to play a huge factor in the amount of food you need to eat and the amount of each macronutrient you need to eat. But as a basic rule of thumb, protein, you want it to be about 25 to 30% of your food. Your carbs, you want it to be about 30 to 40% of your food, and your fats need to be about 20 to 35% of your food, right? So that's a pretty equal distribution. And if you can focus on getting a better balance of your macronutrients instead of eliminating one whole one, right? That includes fat. You're going to find better results in that, and you're going to notice your body responding better as well. So that's a huge one. Okay. Now, piggybacking off of that, this is more in like the 70s and 80s when they used to say fat was really bad for you, right? This is when the whole fat-free campaigns were massive and just completely lied to people and packed fat-free foods with sugar, which caused people to gain weight, right? Because sugar is carbs. So here's why fats are not bad for you, especially if you're a female, okay? You need to make sure you're getting at least like minimum, like bare fucking minimum 35 to like 40 grams of fat per day. This, for women, is super important because it helps you balance your hormonal health. When those fats start decreasing and getting a lot lower, you can start noticing some really big issues with your hormones, such as period, migraine, cramps, mood swings. You might even have trouble conceiving. Like, these are all things that happen if you are not properly feeding your body the nutrients it needs. So please, 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 if you don't take anything else from today, don't cut out any major food groups. They're all important. Your body loves them. Work towards a balance. That's where you're going to find a lot more success. Balance, right? And it's more sustainable and it's funner. You get to eat pasta, you get to eat bread, you get to eat butter, right? Who doesn't want to eat all the good things? Okay, that's number one. On to the next one. Okay, the next one is that you should only do cardio if you want to lose weight. Eat that bread. Yes. I fucking love bread. Please drop a little bread icon if you also love bread, because I know you all do. And if you don't, you're a fucking liar. Okay, back to the next one. Okay, so that cardio is, right, the best exercise for weight loss. Here's why that is total fucking bullshit. Okay. And I had to learn this the hard way. So let me start with my own personal story. Okay. I did not start lifting weights up until about 2 years ago. Okay. And before that, I exercised. And mainly what I did was HIIT and running. I love running. Okay. And yeah, I'm one of those weirdos who actually enjoys running, whatever. But yeah, I loved running. And I also did it because in the back of my mind, I always remembered people saying like, oh, if you run a lot, you're going to lose a lot of weight. You're going to burn off all the fat, right? Because it's the most calorie burning exercise, which is also bullshit. You don't need to worry about the calories you burn. And so I did it. I fell into that trap, and I would run and I would run and I would run and I would step on the scale and step on the scale. And I would wonder, why is it not budging? Why is the fat not coming off? Why is my body not changing? What I'm doing the work. I'm literally running like the most exhaustive fucking exercise you can do, and it's not working, right? Here's why it doesn't work, you guys. If you only do cardio, guess what? You're going to have an awesome heart. Your heart health, your circulatory health, your endurance is going to be beautiful, right? So if you want to work on that, I highly, highly, highly encourage you to. However, it doesn't do much for your fat, right? It just doesn't. You might be burning the calories, but you're also equally exhausting yourself. So you're going to get home, you're going to be so hungry, you're going to end up eating all that food back unless you have like this amazing willpower, but that's also not sustainable. So if cardio doesn't work, and we've been told this our whole lives, what do we do instead? Okay, so this is where the light bulb went off for me in changing, how I view fat loss and, changing my body composition. It's all about resistance training, right? And I'm sure, the industry is slowly changing where we're beginning to hear this a lot more. So I'm very happy about that. But yeah, strength training is where it's at, you guys. I promise you, hear me out. If you solely focus on getting stronger and stronger, your body will massively change. Morgan, thank you. My little peace signs. I wish life was peaceful. It's chaotic. No, I'm just kidding. Thanks for joining, Morgan. Hi, babe. But yes, okay. So if you focus on building strength, if you focus on getting stronger in every lift, if you focus on getting better form, right? Getting deeper in that squat, having that full extension in that overhead press, really having those elbows tucked in that push up. If you become professional at lifting, your body is going to transform, because this is why. When you do resistance training, it has a massive effect on your body, right? It's going to help you build muscle mass. It's going to help you increase your bone density. And inherently, with more muscle mass means a quicker metabolism. The more muscle mass you have, the faster your metabolism is. That's why you see these crazy built athletes on Instagram who can eat 25 to 3,500 calories a day and still stay so cut, right? It's because their metabolism is working at lightning speed to keep up with all that muscle mass. It has to. So also, another study came out recently. It's awesome. I'll have to find a link for it and put it up on my Instagram. But it basically showed that, people who do resistance training, what happens is a signal gets sent to your fat tissue when you do resistance training. And basically the muscle tissue tells the fat tissue like, hey, you should dissolve so we can make more muscle tissue. And the fat tissue looks at the muscle tissue and says, oh yeah, you know what? That makes sense. The body is not working very well with all this extra fat. So you know what? I'll see you guys later. I'm going on vacation. Have fun, muscle, move in. And literally, slowly over time, your fat literally gets the signal to dissipate to make more room for muscle mass, which means quicker metabolism, which means stronger body, which means lower body fat percentage, higher muscle mass percentage, which means you look leaner, even though the scale might not be changing. Okay. So stop only doing cardio. Don't do it. It's not going to work. And you're just going to cause yourself years and years and years of frustration. And you might give up and you might quit and you might just become so down on yourself and think, well, I guess I'm not capable of weight loss. When the truth is you're working hard, but you're not working smart. So start working a little bit smarter, start pushing yourself in the gym a little heavier, and start focusing on the major lifts, right? Your bench press, your pull up, your squat, your hip thrust. Thank you, Manny. Yeah, it is, Manny. Manny's been lifting weights since he was 15 years old. And if you've seen Manny, he is built like this dude's a wall. And he's extremely strong. And he has always preached about the amazing effects of, weight building. Or I'm sorry, not weight building. Weightlifting. There we go. So please ditch the cardio, or if you really like your cardio, keep it in. The best cardio to do, in assistance with strength training for weight loss is going to be, you know, 10 to 15-minute HIIT. That could be sprinting or like a HIIT routine, but very minimal, like twice a week. And then on top of that, like upwards of 10,000 steps per day. Very easy to do, very low maintenance. It's not going to hurt your body. If you do that in conjunction with a weight resistance program that focuses on progressive overload, you're going to see massive results in a very short amount of time. Build that weight. Yes, you're right. Progressive overload. If you focus on getting stronger, increasing the weight, increasing your ROM, increasing your form better, you're going to get stronger. Your body is going to continue adapting to that stimuli. And you're going to watch your aesthetics just explode. I want a big booty like you and Manny. Wait, like this booty? You got a hip thrust, baby girl. We'll go to the gym. I'm going to make you hip thrust. I'm going to see how much you can lift. I'm excited. Morgan, you're coming with me, okay? It's done. Nothing you can do about it. Okay. All right. On to the next one. Number 3. Okay. So the third myth that I want to tackle today is that you just need to keep cutting calories to lose weight, right? This one is very tricky because yes, you do need to be in a deficit if you want fat loss to happen, okay? You just calories in versus calories out. It's that simple idea of, burn more than you eat per day and you'll see results, okay? However, this does work for some people, but it doesn't work for everyone because there are different factors that go into this. So let's start with example A. Let's say you are someone who has been just intuitively eating for years, and you're eating quite a bit every day, probably more than your maintenance, and you're ready to start dropping some weight, okay? So what that person needs to do is figure out what their maintenance calories are. There's tons of opportunities to do this. If you ever need help with this, please reach out to me. Like, it's very easy. I can send it to you for free. I would love to do that. So figure out your maintenance calories. That's the amount of calories you need per day to sustain your body weight at your current activity level, and like workload and height, weight range, everything. So you need to figure out that maintenance. Then you need to subtract 500 calories from that, and that should give you your daily caloric intake. If you want to get real specific, you can find a coach to give you very specific macros to help you with, very specific goals. However, if you focus on making sure you're getting that calorie intake in, with an emphasis on protein, and you don't go over it too often, then example A is going to see some weight loss, right? Especially if they're following my other steps. If they're not cutting carbs, they're not cutting fats, they're not only doing cardio, they're doing strength training, you're going to see results, right? And you could hypothetically stay in that deficit as long as your body keeps responding, right? So now let's go to example B, right? Example A deficit works for them perfectly. Let's go to example B. Let's say you're like most of my clients. You have been yo-yo dieting for years, okay? Morgan, yes, I'm excited to go with you. Yes, I'm gonna make you sweat. You're gonna hate me. It's gonna be fun. It's gonna be fun. I have a guest pass. Okay, we're doing it. I'm gonna text you after this. Okay, so let's say you're person B. You've been yo-yo dieting on and off for years, which means you've been in and out of a deficit for a very, very long time. You probably haven't eaten at your maintenance calories for God knows how long, okay? And so let's say you figure out your maintenance calories and then you subtract 500. Here's the issue with that. That person's probably not going to see any weight loss results, even if they followed all my other steps. And this is why. Metabolisms are so complicated. Okay. They're so complex. They're beautiful. They have helped us survive and adapt for years on end. However, because we're so adaptable, they adapt to the stimuli we give them. So if you're giving your metabolism the cue to only survive off of a deficit for years and years and years on end, it's going to slow down to the point where it only needs 1,200 calories to get the job done. So if it's slowed down to that point, you can't subtract 500 more calories and put yourself at 700 calories a day. That's just not okay. Then you're getting in the, the zone of eating disorders, and you're putting your body under way too much stress. You're not taking care of yourself. That's where you're no longer respecting your body. And so that person would need to do something different, right? You can't just go straight into a deficit. So that's where cutting calories doesn't work for certain people. Certain people need to do the opposite in the beginning. They need to do metabolic repair, right? Which basically just means allowing your metabolism time to slowly speed up as you increase your food up to maintenance. Usually this takes about as long as it did if you were in a cut. However, it's different for every person. So let's say you spend 3 months reversing up by 50 to 100 calories a week till you get to your maintenance calorie. Then ideally you want to stay eating your maintenance calories for 2 to 3 months minimum, right? And this is hard. This is a mental game, because especially if you've been yo-yo dieting, you've been under the impression that you should be losing weight for years and years. So pushing yourself to eat more on a regular basis can be mentally taxing and kind of scary, especially, if you start to see the scale increase, which is common. If you do it correctly, the scale shouldn't increase by more than like 5 to 8 pounds. To some people, that's a lot. To some people, that's not. So it's a very personal thing. But yeah, so for people in category B, you can't just go straight into a deficit. You got to do some metabolic repair and prep. So that way, when it is time to go back into the deficit, your metabolism is running at full speed, and you can actually safely lose the weight in a normal deficit instead of a crazy deficit like 1,200 calories, because that's not sustainable. And if there's anything you've learned from today, don't do anything that's unsustainable. It just won't work, and it's just disrespectful to your body, to your lifestyle, to everything. Just don't do it. It's not fucking worth it. Okay, so yeah, that's that one. Cut on calories. So what do you do instead? You got to be honest with yourself. If you've been yo-yo dieting for years, it might be time to do some metabolic repair. And you have to be willing to do that work if you want to see the results later on. You just have to be honest with yourself. Now, if you're in the other category, you got to also be honest with yourself and say, hey, I have been overeating for a very long time. I've been really comfortable in that. I haven't been moving my body. It's time to make some changes. Both are going to be hard work. Neither one is an easy way out. There's no easy road, right? Both take hard work, dedication, commitment to the process. But the first factor is being honest with yourself. So if you're honest with yourself, then you'll know the next step. If that is tough for you, hire a coach, right? My clients, when they get on their calls with me, I am 100% honest with them, whether it's what they wanted to hear or not. I don't just feed them what they would like and, pray that they get the results. No, I tell them, this is what you need to do if you want those results. Please do it. And it works. It works, you guys. So just be honest with yourself. Yeah, Morgan, yo-yo dieting sucks. It's just not fun. Nobody wants to not eat carbs or be on a diet their entire life. That's not the goal. Nobody wants to be dieting their whole life. Please, God, no. That does not sound fun at all. But yes, okay. So that's number 3, right? You can't just cut calories to lose weight. You got to be honest with yourself. It's a little bit more complicated. All right. The last one for today, it's very simple, but I like to end with it. It's that progress is not linear. If there's anything I've taught you today, it's that our bodies are very complex machines, and we can't just, put our information into a calculator online and have it bust out a calorie amount and stick to that and think, oh, if I stick to this every day for 3 months, I'll hit my goal perfectly. It's not that easy. Progress is not a straight line. Our bodies are so complex, right? Everyone's different. We have different stressors. Our hormones are different. Our genders are different. We have different factors like our biology and our genetics that are going into play here, that there's some things we can't control, right? Things happen in the world like COVID. Who the fuck would have known COVID was going to come and screw everyone over? For some people, it was an awakening. They realized I don't want to sit alone in my home forever feeling the way I do. So it pushed them. For other people, it pushed them down. They became depressed. Life was very difficult. So these are things you can't control. So you have to be okay with understanding progress is not a straight line. You can't just go from point A to point B, right? It's a fucking roller coaster. So strap in for the roller coaster, get ready, because it's fun. It's okay to have progress and to have setbacks. That's life. It's normal. The sooner you realize that you need to have respect for yourself in the process, the sooner you'll get to your end goal, because you'll make the right choice for yourself. And that's it. Okay, so progress is not linear. Okay, so let's go through them one last time before I sign off tonight. Okay, so number one is that carbs and fats are not bad, right? Let's make sure we are doing a healthy amount of each one, and that we're getting all of the good stuff in so that our bodies can function at 100%. Okay. Number two is that you should only do cardio. No, please don't. If you like cardio, keep it, but please add in strength training at least 2 to 4 times a week with a focus on progressive overload. Okay. Number three is that you have to keep cutting calories to lose weight. This is not necessarily true. Make sure you are honest with yourself and figure out where your first step needs to be, whether that's going into a moderate deficit or if it's going the opposite and eating more and repairing that metabolism for a little bit. And the last one is that progress is not linear. You are not a machine. You are not a robot. You cannot plug things into a calculator and get a result like that. Okay. You are a complex, amazing, beautiful fucking human being. Respect yourself for that and understand that it's going to be a roller coaster, but that's kind of the fun of it. And that's okay. Right. Our bodies are amazing. Let's work with them, not against them. All right. So if anybody has any other myths they want me to tackle, please drop them now. I'll give you guys a minute or two. In the meantime, I would love it if you guys could like this video and subscribe to my YouTube channel. You can also find me on Instagram at Bomb Body Babe. That is my fitness page. I have my email on there if you are interested in getting started with any programs. I do nutrition as well as custom fitness programs. It's all online. So this kind of like YouTube platform, I do this, but solely with you. So you get one-on-one time with me where I can get really specific about your diet, right? Your fitness plan, your mental health, where we can tackle everything and work as a team to find success, whether that's getting strong as fuck or losing a little bit of weight or just finding a healthy balance in your life and in your diet. Okay. So it doesn't look like anybody has any others they want to add. So with that, I just want to thank you all so much for joining me tonight. This was absolutely so much fun. I'm already looking forward to the next one. I'm so excited. I am also going to be posting a pretty big discount on my Instagram this next week, kind of leading up to my birthday. So if you're thinking about getting started with a fitness plan or nutrition plan with me, now is the time. It's going to be a good one. So keep a lookout for that. And again, thank you so much for joining me. I love you guys all so much. This was an absolute blast. Thanks for all these helpful tips and for busting these myths. Yes, Morgan, any fucking time, girl, especially for you. Woohoo! Sandra, thanks for joining. You guys, this was so much fun. Until next time, keep a lookout. I'll be posting this again. And yeah, I can't wait to do the next one. Maybe we'll tackle like my personal story or maybe how to build confidence or maybe how to cook. Maybe we'll do some cooking soon. I like cooking. Okay, guys, I'm signing off. Don't forget to subscribe, follow Instagram and YouTube, Bomb Body Babe. Thank you so much, you guys. Have a good night. Bye.